Hi, I'm Baldo Villegas, and I'm going to show you how to prune a Miniflora rose. This is a Miniflora. This is Dr. Troy Garrett. I originally got this rose from Whitwell's in Brighton, Tennessee. And,
so Whit was the hybridizer?
Yes, Whitwell's was a hybridizer, and when I visited with him, he gave me all of his seedlings, including a lot of his roses. And then I propagated some of this and I gave them to my friends. Dr. Garrett is an amazing Miniflora. He has roses like this that are just like hybrid teas. They're all high center. Now,
So even though it's called mini, it's a huge bush.
yes.
The blooms are the mini part. We're going to save it.
Yes.
Yes.
In my garden, the bushes grow a lot taller than this. In my garden, they grow up to 7 feet tall and 5 feet wide. And any one of those bushes will produce hundreds of blooms at any one time during the growing season. So it's an amazing machine of roses.
How do you get some of these roses? Because I don't always see them in the nursery.
You have to know the hybridizers, and
Or
if
you
you're-
have to know Baldo.
Or you have to go to some of the rose societies, propagate these roses. And they oftentimes have them for sale. We had a sale several months ago, and we had over 300 roses for sale. So, it's good to know some of these people. It's announced on various different media accounts. So you can always email Baldo and say, "Is there a rose sale?"
What we do is that we specialize with roses that are not patent and that are free for all. And anyway, the Whitwell's died a few years back, and he gave me the okay to propagating his roses. So I've been doing that to keep his name going in rose culture. Anyway, well, we're gonna do the same thing as we did with the three rows. We're going to get rid of all the foliage so that we can see the base of the rose, because my method of pruning is from the bottom up. So let's get rid of some of the foliage. What I like to do is I like to prune my roses when most of the foliage on a rose bush is yellow, because that indicates that the rose is going into dormancy. And to me, that's the right time to prune. And also, I like to prune in days like this that are dry and you don't have to deal with the rain or wet foliage. And as you can see, I dress myself really well so that in case I get poked by the thorns. We're going to be doing a lot of kneeling in this process of pruning. So I use knee pads, and like I said, I protect myself really well. Long sleeves, clothing that I don't mind ripping.
Eye protection is important too.
Correct. And also head protection is also very good.
Especially when it's really cold.
As you can see, I'm kneeling down in order to get down to the base of the rose.
Do the Baldo method.
So I can show you the Baldo method of rose pruning. Normally a rose like this would take me under 5 minutes to get it pruned. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to take a little bit longer.
And explain what he's doing.
And explain what I'm doing. Charlotte and Linda will assist and also ask questions or make comments.
Or give him a bad time.
Yes.
So how do you start? with a rose this big?
Okay. First of all, you need to decide how tall you want it. And that's a matter of preference. Since you own this property right here, Linda, how high do you want
I
this?
want it tall because I thought I was planting a climber before and I think that one died. So I like it tall to kind of mirror that one.
Okay, so normally with Miniflora roses, I like to prune it about 18 inches, 15 to 20 inches, or also miniature roses. But since she wants them a little bit taller, we're going to go maybe 24 inches, or depending
About
on what
36 inches.
or 36 inches, depending on what we see. Okay,
Okay,
so
You want my loppers?
but first of all, we have
I
to.
ruined the rose.
Okay, so what I like to do is I like to kind of look at the base of the rose and decide which canes I'm going to leave. And then you can see that there are some very, very strong canes. And this, for instance, this is your best cane right here. And it goes from this cane right there, and it ends right there. And this looks pretty healthy. So I'm not gonna cut it. But you can cut it. You can start cutting about this height. Okay.
Okay,
In this cane right here has to come out.
okay.
Okay. And then what I like to do is I like to cut it probably right around here, or maybe right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you would cut it here?
right about there.
Right. Yeah. But let me.
I'm
do
going to
it.
let you do it
Yeah,
because
let
you
me
can
do it.
reach it from that side
Yeah,
better.
and because I have to get rid of some canes in order to kind of
Get
get
in
a
there.
better angle. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of a lot of the twiggy stuff in order to get into the middle of the rose bush, so I can.
One of the other things to remind you, get a little diamond blade sharpener. You can get those on Amazon or at any hardware, even probably some nurseries. And it'll be, we're going to do a little section on tools, but it's very important to keep your blades very sharp because it saves on wear and tear of your hands and makes things a lot easier. I can tell his blade is very sharp.
I have not sharpened this pair of pruners at all since I bought
Because
them
it's an
3 years ago.
ARS. Yeah.
It's an ARS pruner, and they don't need sharpening.
Right,
I mean, they're amazing roses.
right.
I mean, the amazing tools.
Very high quality steel
Yes.
that retains its.
So now,
Sharpness.
now that I cut some of the smaller canes, I can get in here now, and I can remove some of the big. I'm gonna have to get in there a little bit closer, but while I'm at it. Okay, so now we can get in here now and help in this rose bush. And again, I'm getting rid of stuff that's diseased. This has canker. Anything that points toward the middle, I'm getting rid of.
How does canker develop, Waldo?
It's developed by an open wounds, and then you have where you have the spores. The rain, the moisture will help grow those spores.
And it blocks the growth on that where the water comes up the plant on the xylem, right? Or kills the whole tip of the
Yeah,
cane.
it continues down the cane, and then eventually just goes.
hills that
leaving
came.
this a little bit higher because Linda wanted this rose
That must be.
higher than, but I would like to leave it. And as I prune this rose, I look for outside buds that don't interfere with the rest of these canes that I'm leaving, okay? And again, this is just tentative right now. I'll come back and do the final, depending on what Linda wants. Okay, now let's go to the frame and see what it looks like from the other side. And this is the reason we're doing this Miniflora as differently than I would normally do it, because Linda is treating it like a climber. Okay, so
You can take away maybe the twiggy stuff and then you get a better feel for it. Want me to start cutting the twine?
let's I'm getting rid of twiggy stuff, and I'm making sure that the buds point to away from the center, because we don't want people to get snagged when they walk by this rose
Do you
bush.
want to get rid of this entire thing?
Yeah.
I just recounted my mine was 40.
I'm not surprised.
What's your goal there, Baldo?
I'm getting all the twiggy stems, leaving the skeleton so that against the
So to go that direction.
yeah, that goes out in that direction. We're gonna tie this one like.
If you leave it, I'll tie it. Whatever you want to do, Baldo, and then I'll just work with it.
Since you are using this as a climber,
Yeah.
we're going
yeah.
to treat it as a climber.
Yeah.
In some of these floribundas, some of these Minifloras and some of these roses, whenever I see candelabras like this,
What's a candelabra?
a candelabra is where you have multiple stems emanating from one stem like this.
Uh-huh.
And if I see a very vigorous candelabra coming from the base, I usually make a tree rose out of it. And then I leave it like this. This would be a perfect,
So you leave the candelabra.
I leave the candelabra. Instead of shortening the stems, I just leave it in place like that.
Okay.
And
You would if you had a mini flora and you see that from the base, then you would make it kind of like a tree rose.
correct. And if you come to my garden, you're gonna see a lot of little candelabras like that, out of my miniature roses and my Miniflora roses. And see
Okay.
that? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint it like that.
Okay. We'll tie it up.
Yeah. Where's your jute? Where's the
Okay.
jute?
I will get the jute and the scissors.
Basically, the rose is pruned. And
No, I think I put it
but
over there.
the main thing that in miniatures and minifloras is that you prune them just like you other roses, but you kind of shorten them down a little bit. And then the important thing is that you should be able to get your hand inside the rose bush, and if your claw gets snagged from doing this, then you left too many things in the middle. Okay, so again, shape your bush in the shape of a vase so that the canes are on the outside and the canes don't interfere. And then make sure that you get rid of all the canker growth at the end of the canes. When you leave a cane, make sure that it is nice and healthy. And we'll have close-ups of diseased canes and healthy canes for people to see. So basically we're done with this rose.
Okay.